This is the Servicio de Impuestos Interno, which is the same as the Chilean IRS here in Osorno. And this is where you do your taxes, open business, get a tax ID number, which here is called a root number for buying a car or land. Would be like the little simple one. Or when you become a permanent or temporary resident, you get a root number as well. And this is where what it's attached to. It'd be like your social security number. Only it's not secret here in Chile. Everybody knows everybody else's number. It's kind of odd. Anyhow. Okay, well this is going to be a little bit of an odd video. I'm mixing several videos together. Just some odd tracks that I had so you guys can see some scenery while I talk to you about businesses and accounting in Chile. I started at the Servicio Interno, the Chilean IRS office there, so you got a feel for, okay, what am I talking about? The Chilean IRS, basically. You will hear from people that say that Chile is business friendly. They're lying. Chile wants you to be their slave. You're a slave of the Chilean system. In the United States, you are innocent with your taxes until proven guilty, for the most part. And Chile, you're guilty until proven innocent. So it's a lot more restrictive with their IRS, their Servicio Impuestos Interno, than it is with the U.S. IRS. It seems to me, to say the least, that they have a lot more worries and they're much more hands-on. Okay, I'm going to take a little break here and bring you this follow. Today is Sunday, May 19th. What's significant about Sunday, May 19th, you say? Well, Sunday, May 19th is my anniversary. Lori and I have been married 29 years. Yeah, 29 years of joy. So, what am I doing? I'm taking Lori to our favorite restaurant. The name of it is Las Brasas. It is basically a steak joint, but they have really good salads too. And this is right along the interstate. You have to kind of do a little game to get in here, but that's the Trans-American Highway, Ruta 5. And it's in Osorno. It doesn't look fancy on the outside so much, but it is fancy on the inside, and the food's really good. And there's the victims. Victim 1, victim 2. Why do you have your backpack? In case you don't have enough food for us? Okay, so I want to break down for you a little bit the different scenarios you can have for business. You can have a natural person, which in the United States is called a sole proprietorship. That's one person. You can have an LLC. You can have a limited company, which would be like a partnership somewhat. You could have a full-blown corporation as well. All those exist here, and with those get everything but the natural person. You would get a different root number, or basically what we call a social security number in the United States. With that root number, everything is tracked. So you have to file your taxes under that. You do all your documents under that. But anyhow, you need to have an accountant. Why do you need to have an accountant? Well, your accountant will keep you hopefully out of jail. It'll keep you from having what's called multas. Multas are fines. Multas are not your friend. You get fines for not paying enough taxes. You get fines for paying taxes too late. You get fines for not telling them things. It goes on and on that they give you multas. I'll give you an example. I have my little barbecue business, and I really don't make too much money. I've only made money really one transaction, and that was our Netflix thing so far, because it's a new business, and which is fine. And we're in the off season right now, so I'm not doing any catering right now, and we're really not selling a whole lot of barbecue sauce right now. Okay, so what does my accountant have to do for me, since I've not made any money, but I continue to have some expenses that I can write off? Well, he needs to go in and say there's been no movement. And sometimes you get an accountant that says they'll do that, and they don't do that. And because of that, you end up having to pay a multa. No movement means that I haven't done anything. You're telling the government I haven't made any money. And actually the government sent me a letter saying, well, if you aren't making any money, close your business. In other words, we want a milk cow that produces milk. It's really interesting in that regard. So I had to fire that accountant because he didn't tell me that. It really teed me off. I was paying him. How do you pay these accountants? This is what you're going to see. You're going to have a monthly payment that could be anywhere from 15,000 pesos, which is under $30, to 65,000 pesos a month, which is under $120. So that's a monthly. And then one time a year you'll have what's called a renta, R-E-N-T-A. And that renta is like the April 15th of you're paying your accountant to do all your taxes and stuff like that for you. Okay, here's Thomas getting his salad. What should you expect a renta should be? Well, your renta should be double what your monthly payment to them is, whatever you agreed to. So, for instance, the current accountant I have, and I agreed that I would pay him 65,000 pesos a month. Okay, that meant that my renta should be 130,000 pesos a year. Well, no, he charged me 325,000 pesos for my renta, and I did not know that that was incorrect until a Chilean friend of mine said, hey, they're crazy, charging you 3 or 4 times what they should be charging you. Oh, my goodness. So I went to him. He said, oh, my mistake. I don't like any accountant says my mistake, okay, especially if they aren't paying for it. So he dropped that fee and down to where it should be, but there's some other issues there, all right? So he's going to go the way of the dodo for me as well. I'm going to find somebody that's cheaper, one that I only pay $15,000 a month. If you're going to have somebody that does a bad job for you, have somebody that's cheap and does a bad job for you. Okay, well, let's talk really quick about the accounting system a little bit here, and then we're going to wind this video up, okay? Because this is really nauseating subject for me. In Chile, you have boletas and facturas. They'll ask you this whenever you go to anywhere and buy anything, boleta or factura. A boleta is just a receipt for the general public. A factura is a breakdown of all the facts of what is being bought, and it's being submitted to the Chilean IRS, and that would be for a business. What happens is you pay VAT, value-added tax, at 19% on all your purchases, whether you get a boleta or a factura. But if you're a business, you get to move that on down and get a credit for that and then charge it to the next person. And then after that, you get a credit at the end of the month, the end of the quarter, the end of the year as well, if you accumulate them. Okay, and that offsets what your taxes are. There are different levels of taxes that depend on your income as well. I don't have the gory details on that, but basically what you look for is an accountant that is going to be proactive, who's going to tell you all this. For me, I'm on accountant number 5 starting in June next month, and that's fine. She's a lot cheaper. She's local. But anyhow, if you find an accountant out there that speaks English, that speaks English, and you want to send them to me, I've got probably 8 gringos that would use that English-speaking accountant here in the south of Chile. I'm not talking in Santiago. And I do know gringos that go all the way to Santiago to big accounting firms up there to have them do their accounting, and they're paying $200-300 a month to have somebody do just diddly squat, nothing. I'm not going to do that. I'm just simple Jim. I'm selling a little bit of barbecue sauce here, and I'm doing a few events for catering. So, accounting here in Chile can be really bad. It can be really good, but it can be really bad. And I've found that more the really bad side. I've actually got friends that have paid as much as 35 million pesos. So that would be $70,000 or less than 70. Let's say $65,000 in taxes because their accountant screwed up. That would be grounds for murder, I think, right there. The reason of insanity. So there's my phone dinging. But anyhow, So you have to be diligent on your accountant, and hopefully you can find an accountant who is willing to work with you and who's willing to be proactive, because they really don't understand that all this here in Chile is a new accounting experience for a gringo, because it's a totally different system. They do things differently here. You have to continually be alerting the government about what your business is. Also, you should know that the government can come to your place of business and shut the doors, especially if you don't issue boletas, which are just receipts to the general public, or if your documents are not in order as far as, okay, this is my business and this is my place of business and I pay my taxes. You got to have proof of that or they will shut your business down. Basically, the government here treats you like a big dairy cow, and they want you to put out the milk. If you ain't putting out the milk, they don't want any part of you. Okay. Now, on the upside, you have all these people here that are not paying any taxes on their businesses because they aren't filing taxes, and they're really what's called a micro empresa, little business, they're even smaller than that, or they're going to the ferias. The ferias are where you can go there, and it's not black market, but it's approved by the government, but it's underneath the table, underneath the radar. Very common. And you'll have accountants and even people with the government tell you, oh, don't do a business, just do it under the table until you're making, $100,000 a year equivalent, which I kind of find a little silly personally, because it just seems like that's an opportunity to get fined or something. So anyways, in the background, Lori and I and Thomas went to a park where they had a archaeological dig, and they found a bunch of Dinosauruses and Tyrannosauruses and other things like that. They actually found the oldest archaeological footprint in the world, or in the northern and southern hemisphere here in Chile within the past 3 months. So there's good reason to think all that Siberian ice bridge is a load of crap. Must have been global warming. But anyhow, and because of that, they feel that maybe South America was settled before North America, since they're finding footprints from people thousands of years before they found the footprints up there. So anyhow, this park is pretty cool, and it's a good kid place. It's in the city of Osorno. They have a ice skating rink. They have a swimming pool, an outdoor swimming pool, and they have a roller skating rink, and they have this little museum I'm looking at right now. And they also have a little tiny restaurant, like a cafe, and it's pretty cool. And you can see they got the dinosaurs in the swamp, because that's where they found them, over the hill where the place used to be a swamp. Here's a roller skating rink right here that they're looking at. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you if you're interested in doing a business here or interested in knowing about accounting. Again, I'm going to send up an all points bulletin. If you know of a Chilean accountant who speaks English, please have them contact me in the comments section. Would be grand. And they will have more gringos than they know what to do business with. It's not real common here. So, all right. Well, ciao from Chile Expat Family. Thank you for stopping by. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I really thank my subscribers who have been donating and helping my PayPal club. Alan is wonderful. Chloe and Nate out there, and Kendra, and just good people. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Ciao from Chile. 5 years ago, Lori, the boys, and I pulled up our roots and moved to Chile. Let me tell you, it was really scary. We were looking for an adventure of a lifetime. And what we really wanted was just a peaceful place to call home, with kind and gentle neighbors. We wanted to enjoy the life that God gave us. Free, simple, safe, and more beautiful than you can ever imagine.